Hey, what's up? David Tao back again, and I want to talk to you now about combining open chord chucking and bar chord chucking within the same song or same progression, okay? Now, if you're up to this point in your guitar journey, the lessons before this, pretty much previously, you've been working on your bar chord chucking, right? And I took you through some examples and practice with that. And earlier on in the beginner section, you should have watched the modules on open chord chucking. So at this point, you should be able to chuck with open chords using that palm of your hand, of your pick hand, hitting the strings to create that percussive slap. And you should be doing that with different strum patterns like we've been working on. And now that you got your bar chords, you should be able to do it with bar chords. And that chucking is done by just coming off pressure with the fret hand, right? So I'm going to give you a few progressions right now just to mess around, to start to practice this, okay? And whether you could do this whether you have acoustic or electric. I'm doing this with an acoustic, but you could do it with anything, either or. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a few examples and we're going to practice, okay? Now let's start simple and then we'll go from there. So let's just take like a C, open C major chord, and we're going to change that to an F bar chord, okay? And you should be good at that change by now. Back and forth, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold the strum down on the C and chuck, and then, which is the open chord chucking. And then we're going to change to the F chord and we're going to do bar chord chucking. Okay, now let's pick an easy strum, maybe like something that, I don't want you to have to think about the strum too much. I want you to work more on the chucking. So just take an old strum like strum 2. Down, chuck, up, down, chuck, up, chuck, up. And that strum is just down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, F. Up, down, 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 up, C. We'll do 2 measures each. Down, up, F. Right? So take that strum and chuck. Do like a down, chuck, up, chuck, up, 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 down, down, chuck, up, down, chuck, up. 2 chucks within that measure. And I was just holding the C chord, but I want you to do it so where you can go from the C and chuck and then change to the F and chuck, okay? And it might take a little bit of practice now because you're going to have to use that, like the right hand, the fret hand coming down with the palm for the open chords. And then on the bar chord, you come off pressure, which is easier. Right? It's much easier on the bar chord chucking. So this is going to get you proficient at doing both because so many songs you're going to need both. And you got to be able to do it while you're changing chords in time, okay? So let's just go nice and slow. C to the F with chucking. It'll sound like this with that strum 2. Play along with me. C, up, chuck, up, down, chuck, up, chuck, up, F, chuck, up, chuck, up, down, chuck, up, chuck, up, down. Nice and clean. Whack. Throw that right hand in on that open chords. Now I'm coming off pressure with my left hand. Beautiful. Very good, okay? So start off basic when you're doing both bars and opens and chucking together, and then you could start adding more chords in. Let's make it the C, F, let's go to the G. And we'll play like a 1-4-5. C, F, which is the 4 chord, and in the key of C, G is the 5 chord. So it'll sound like this. Here we go on the C for 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strong chuck, F for 2 measures. Back to the C for 2 measures. Go back to the F again. Now to the G for 1. To the F for 1. Back to the C for 1. Now to the G. All down strokes. Back to the C. 2 measures. Chucking. F bar chord chucking. Back to the C. 2 measures. F. Now G for 1 measure chuck. F 1 measure. C 1 measure. G. One more time. Chucking this open C chord. Chucking the bar G chord, F chord, C chord, F chord. Now 1 measure to the G, 1 measure to the F, 1 measure to the C, G. Very good, very good. We're doing these open and bar chord chucks together. All I did when I went to the G was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 8th notes all downstroke. That's that G, that 5 chord resolves so nicely to the 1. Okay? Let's do another one. Let's take another progression. Let's do A minor this time to an F. So you should be good at that. A minor open, F bar. A minor open, F bar. Try it 2 measures each. Same chuck. Same strum. Sounds nice. Chucking on the A minor chord, 2 measures. Bar chord chucking on the F. Good. Practice that. Let's take that same A minor to F, and I'm just going to give you some more examples. Then let's go to a C open to a G open. And on the C to the G, use that 3-finger G with the pinky, because that makes that going, remember that C to G easy. So the chord change will be A minor, open chord you're going to chuck, F, bar chord chuck, C, open chord chuck to a G, open chord chuck, right? And it'll sound like this, and we'll just use that same strum we've been using. Down, chuck, up, chuck, up. There's your F. C, G. Again, A minor. F. C. G. Again. Open it up a little bit. See, I was changing the strum up a little bit, and that's another way to embellish, you know. You can add suspended chords, change the strum, chuck. All these rhythmic elements are adding interest and melody to your song and makes them interesting. Let's play a B minor chord, bar chord, 2nd fret, off of the A string root. Okay? And let's change that to a D major 7th. Very cool change. And just kind of slide that 1st finger down, and you can make that change very easily. Hook your thumb over to mute the low E and the A strings on that D major 7th if you can get them. At least mute the low E string. I mute the A string too, but you might not be able to get it that far over. I have pretty big hands. At least mute the low E, because you don't want to hear this on that chord. Totally muddies it. You want to hear it from that open D string. So try change, just nice and slow. Pretty. Here's your B minor. D major 7th. D minor.